Okay, for the system requirement, firstly I use the Arduino Uno and I use the ultrasonic sensor. I use two to detect the hand gesture, and lastly I use the jumper wire, which is male to female. Okay, for the coding of the project, firstly, I declare the output pin for the sensor 1, which is 11, and 10 for the echo input for the sensor 1, and then 6 for the trigger output for the sensor 2, and then 5 for the echo input for the sensor 2. And after that, I make the distance calculation for the ultrasonic sensor. And I declare the long duration, distance, flow, and then long time, and then time 1 and then 1. And then I make the find distance function, and this function return the value in cm. And after that, I make the calculation for the duration, which is pass in echo pin height 5000. This pass in function won't wait more than 5000 US for the ultrasonic sound to come back. It won't measure more than 60 cm, which is they have this project to use the gesture control in the defined space. And then it will return 0 if the distance greater than 60 cm. And this help usually if we remove our hand in front of the sensor. And then I make the calculation for the R, which is this calculation to get the measure in cm using the time returned by the pulse in function. And after that, this is the upper part for the left sensor and the lower part for the right sensor. Okay, after that I also make the same calculation as the above. Okay, for the void setup, I make the serial begin, which is 9600, and then I initialize the trigger and echo pins of both of the of the sensor as input and output. Okay, for the void loop, firstly I call the find distance function, which is this function will store the current distance measured by the ultrasonic sensor in the global variable. The program has to call this function to continuously to get the distance value at the all time. And then I check the condition. If we place our hand in front of the right sensor in range between 50 to 35 cm, this condition become true, and it will store the current time in the variable time. And this loop measure the distance for another 300 millisecond, which help to find difference between the swipe and stay of our hand in front of the right sensor. And after that, I call the find distance function again, and after that I check the condition. This condition will true if we place our hand in front of the right sensor for more than 300 millisecond. And after that, I open the looping, which is the loop we run until we remove our hand in front of the right sensor. And after that, I call the find distance function to get the live data, and I check the condition, which is this condition become true if we move our hand away from the right sensor, and it will send down in the serial. After that, I check the condition, which is this condition become true if we move our hand closer to the right sensor, and it will send up in the serial. And if the above statement will false, it will send next to the serial, which is the condition become true if we only swipe in front of the right sensor. And then I check the condition if we place our hand in front of the left sensor in range between 50 to 35 cm, and then this condition become true. Then after that, I open the looping and call the find distance function, and then I check the condition if our hand detect in the right sensor before 300 millisecond, this condition become true. Usually it happen if we swipe our hand from left to the right sensor, and it will send change in the serial and store 1 in variable 1 to avoid the program to enter into the upcoming if condition, and then I break the loop. This condition will become true if we swipe our hand in front of left sensor, and it will send previous in the serial, and this loop will rotate until we remove our hand in front of the left sensor. This will avoid not to enter this if condition again, and then I make 1 equal to 0 for the next round. Okay, for the Python code, firstly I add a serial library for the serial communication, and then add PyAutoGUI library for the programmatically control the mouse and keyboard, and then I initialize serial and create serial port or object caller, which is Arduino serial, and then I open the looping and read the serial data and print it as line, and then I print the incoming serial data. And after that, I check the condition. If incoming data is next, it will perform control PGDN page down operation, which is move to the next step. And I check the condition again. If incoming data is previous, it will perform the control page up operation, which is move to the previous step. And then I check the condition again. If incoming data is down, it will perform down arrow operation, which is scroll down the page. And then if incoming data is up, it will perform up arrow operation, which scroll up the page. And lastly, I check the condition. If incoming data is changed, it will perform alternate tab operation, which switch the tab. And lastly, I clear the data. Okay, this is my output of the project. If we want to go to the next step of the website, we must swipe in front of the right sensor, right, like this and like this. And if we want to go to the previous tab of the website, we must swipe our hand in front of the left sensor like this, and it will go to the previous tab. And after that, if we want to scroll down of the page, we must move our hand away from the right sensor, and it will scroll down the pages of the website. Okay, to scroll up the page, we must move our hand closer to the right sensor to scroll up the page. Okay, to change the tab of the window, we must swipe our hand from left to the right sensor like this, and then it will change the tab of the window. Okay, this project also can be used to go forward of the video and go backward, and also can be used to decrease or increase of the volume of the video. I also use the same concept of the previous. If we want to decrease of the volume, we must move our hand away from the right sensor like this. To increase the volume of the video, we must move our hand closer to the right sensor, and it will increase the volume of the video like this. To go forward of the video, we must swipe in front of the right sensor like this, and it will go forward of the video. And lastly, to go to the backward of the video, we must swipe our hand in front of the left sensor, and it will go backward of the video. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.